I'm back. I did something stupid technology-wise. I unplugged my camera before the file had finished compressing. So, I'm going to record the second half of this podcast. Again, this is the very first time I've ever had to do a take two like this. I'm going to actually probably publish this in two parts because that's what a technology dork I am. Okay, I was talking about the hem of my hero, and I'm going to knit on some socks while I do that. While I finish talking about the hero. Oh, that's one of the reasons I'm keeping the first. I'm going to have two parts is because I talked so in depth about the hero. I feel like I'd miss something if I did it again. So let me just finish up talking about it. Trying to sew down the hem at 11 at night was inadvisable. So in the light of day, I tried again, and it came out okay. I would think that's the kind of thing you're going to get better at with practice. So the thing is, once it's stretched over my hips, you really don't notice any imperfections. You do want to sew it loosely so it has the same amount of give as the rest of the sweater. You just take a wee bit of the reverse stockinette and you fold the hem at the turning line and you sew it together basically. A little bit of the reverse stockinette of the underside of the sweater into the live stitch. And I just kind of whip stitched it like that. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to say was that I used a suspended bind off for the neckline. And I'm notorious for making, I hope I haven't repeated myself with saying this, but my necklines are always too tight. Suspended bind off. I found it in the Cast On Bind Off book by Leslie Ann Bester. And that's a great book. It's divided by types of cast-ons and bind-offs and tells you what the recommended uses for each would be. So very handy, and I will definitely use suspended bind-offs again. It was really easy. Okay, so that's the hero. Did I say that Kiwi Girl 224 said it looked like the colors of a pansy? And it totally does. The colors of Mother Nature are never wrong. Alrighty. Okay, so my works in progress. Socks. These are socks for my son. There are over 52... Oh, go away. Go away. There are over 52 stitches. And they're out of Lane Cervinia Forever. That's the base. And I don't know the colorway, but it's this fun grays, blacks, charcoals, and whites. That stripe. And they will be fraternal twins for sure. I'm doing them 2 at a time, magic loop, top down, on US 1.5s, 2.5 millimeters. These are ChiaoGoo red lace. And I'm doing my standard sock recipe. I have 3 socks going right now, 3 pairs. And they're all my standards, top down, cuff as long as I can stand it, about a 5-inch leg, heel flap, and then a gusset on the bottom, a sole gusset. And yeah, that's the way I like to do my socks. So we have these, and I'm doing the opal little print socks for my daughter, and one of those is completed. I won't show you the other one because I've only cast on and done 1 row. It looks no different from the last time. I will show you my husband's. I am doing his out of Patton's Croy sock in the blue rag stripe, I believe. And I have made some progress on these. They're fun to do. I can't find any of the brown rag stripe in any of my big box stores, although I haven't been to Walmart because I hate going to Walmart. Maybe I should look there. Oh no, they've really pared down their yarn section, I believe. So anyway, so fun to knit. And I'm doing these the same recipe, so you can see the heel flap there. The only difference I do on the heel flap is that I slip one, purl one. I do the slip stitch on the purl row, and then I just knit back because I'm a slow purler anyway, so why not, instead of having 2 slow rows, why not just have 1 on the heel flap? Makes it go much faster. And it's the exact same result. That's sturdier fabric. So once I turned the heel, I switched from a US 1.5 to a US 2 because I feel like my husband has skinny legs, and these will stretch, of course, but his the area from his heel to the top of his instep is a much bigger part of his foot. So I want to have, I thought for the second half of the sock, I'm going to do it on 2s. And these are Addi Red Lace. I don't know the millimeter size of 2s, but these suckers have poked a hole in my finger. I need a Band-Aid to use as a thimble if I'm going to get all of these socks done. That's it for WIPs. We have up and coming and spinning. Let's talk about spinning first. I need to wash and clean and polish my wheel, my Fiona. She's dirty and she needs her biannual cleanup. So I'm going to be doing that this weekend. She gets a thorough going over. And that's sort of in preparation for some of the fleece that I have bought and cleaned and that I'm starting to process a little bit more. But I do have something on my Tibetan. This is the Gourmet Stash I showed you from last week, Cat of the Canals. Cannot see it at all, the subtlety of it. It has, again, I apologize for the lighting, it's terrible today. It's on my Tibetan, Spanish Peacock, and this is spinning it like frog hair. Let me unwind some and show you guys. It's really, really skinny right there. It's beautiful. It has the Kiviot and the yak content. It has some other things as well, but it's so fun to spin. I've been trying to spin the other Aria Start colorway on my Spanish Peacock Turkish spindle, and it's just not making me happy. Not the fiber, it's the spindle. And I think it's the type of spindle. Long ago, when I started spindling, I got a Knit Picks Turkish spindle, and I hated it. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just the tool. I destashed that. Maybe it's a junky tool, and maybe I need a quality one. Spanish Peacock is definitely a quality spindle. They're very rare, hard to get. I was really lucky to get it. And Eutrapalia, who suggested spinning it supported, I was like, that's how it's going to work for me? I don't like it either. I'm going to give it a couple more tries, maybe with some different fiber. It's a heavier spindle. And I'm trying to spin. I didn't realize what a difference that would make supported, because as a drop spindle, you really need to spin a thicker single because of the weight of it. I don't want to fool with that half hitch. I just feel like I'm winding on constantly and not spinning very much. So spinning it supported with a temporary cop would be a great option, but I'm still not able to get it as thin as I would like. So I'm going to try a heavier single, a different fiber from the Gourmet Stash Poonies that I have on there now that want to spin thin, and see if I can get it to work better, because I'm just not getting enough twist into the single with it. It's just too heavy. So I'm going to give it a few more tries, but if I find that I'm just not loving this Turkish, I might have to let it go. I do like the little turtle you get at the end, but I'm having a hard time getting to the little turtle, so we will see. That is it for spinning. Up and coming, I have to do hats for my niece and nephews for Christmas. And I had this hobbledehoy hand spun from a bat. I had that started into a hat, and I just realized it wasn't the right pattern for my niece. So I'm just going to make up a beanie with a pom-pom. It'll be purple and sparkly, and it'll be awesome. For the boys, I want to do for the littlest guy a fish dead or alive hat. And then the oldest, who is 8 or 9, I should remember, he's in 3rd grade. I think he's 8. I will be doing, I don't know. You guys have a great hat for a boy that age that's not too labor intensive? Do let me know. The other up and coming is the Monster Cowl, and I'm definitely doing this out of the Hero colorway. So if I can't wear my Hero sweater, then I can wear a cowl that reminds me of it. And this is a very Missoni inspired, lots of chevrons. So I'm going to use all 4 colors and make it my own. So that will be coming up as well. I forgot to mention, I have more Gourmet Stash coming in just the plain Jane, which is just a gray poonie. And that will be the final color for my Albers cowl spinning. So Monster cowl, Albers cowl, I'll be doing those as soon as the Christmas knitting is over. All right, the last two things. I have the Zoom Loom. I tried it out and I've learned a few things. I did a few squares. The first one was out of a fingering weight, a really light fingering weight, and it just came out very flimsy and see-through. This was some yarn that I dyed a while back in some turquoises and browns. Way too thin. And then the second one was the Highland Handmaids hand spun mixed BFL that I did a hat out of recently. And I learned with this one to do your winding on the loom loosely, because this was a pain to weave because I wound on too tight. So I'm looking forward to using some interesting sock yarns with this and seeing what I come up with. And then teaching my daughter. Okay, last thing, project bags. One of my oldest, dearest friends is having her first baby. And I've been giving her knitting lessons. She's, I think, the only person that I've ever taught to knit that is becoming a knitter with a capital K. And she is knitting for her baby boy. And she's knitting socks. So there's a lot of learning that goes on with a sock. So we're getting together when she gets to a certain point in her sock to sort of learn the new technique. And we're down to the last step, which is Kitchener. So after the holiday, we'll have to get together, and it's great because like she'll take me out for lunch afterwards. So after the last sushi lunch we had, we went to Tuesday Morning because it was right there. And if you don't know Tuesday Morning, it's a store that gets, you know, sort of like, well, I don't know if it's overstock stuff, but it's always different, and usually they get a new shipment of stuff on Tuesday Morning. Well, she found these, and she's a huge fan of Lily Pulitzer. Super preppy, pink and green. And she said, ooh, I love those. And I said, I'll make you project bags. So this is one combination, and this is the other combination. They are not at all my colors, but she loves them. And I think they'll make really cute bags. As I said, she loves the Lily Pulitzer. She's got a collection of dresses. So I've been wanting to make a spinning project bag with satin lining, and I walked into Joann's, and it must be my friend's influence because look what jumped out at me. Pink and green. This will be the top, and this lovely lime green satin will be the lining. Oh, I need to get some pinking shears though. I think it needs to be cut with pinking shears, which I don't own because I don't have all the sewing tools. I think my mother has some. That is it, folks. I apologize for the two-parter. It was just not cool. Maybe I'll get my act together and edit them together. I don't know. Don't count on it. But I want to wish you all a very, very, very happy holiday. It is also Hanukkah and Thanksgiving, and if nothing else, rather, a very good weekend. And I will see you all next time. So until then, take care.